Most of us have learned to fear pain so much that anything new, anything that might even be able to expand us, oftentimes we'll say no to just to protect ourselves. Kind of like you ever walk into a place to buy some clothing and the first thing that somebody asks you is, can I help you? What's the immediate response? No, I'm just looking. I think that real choice comes from learning to be able to say the word yes. From being able to condition yourself to say yes to life, yes to opportunity, yes to possibility. To look at what is really possible instead of immediately trying to protect ourselves from things that maybe we don't need to protect ourselves from. Maybe things that could expand our life completely. I know that in my life, there are very few things that have enhanced my life that have come from me saying no to them. But there are a lot of things that were sometimes tough choices for me that when I finally said yes, I will do it, my whole life expanded. I encourage you to take a look at saying yes in accordance with whatever makes your life bigger and brighter and stronger, more aware and more full and more rich. You deserve to learn to say the word yes to yourself more often.
It's like here you are as a person, and your brain's divided in half, and this idea pops in here into your conscious mind. Now, if you have a strong enough plan or commitment, total commitment, that no matter what it takes can happen, if you have enough strong enough internal feeling attached to a plan, then that internal feeling will cause it to drop into your unconscious mind, and then you'll manifest it. That's the way the mind works. Read Think and Grow Rich. Read As a Man Thinketh. Read any book that will teach you the principles that create wealth. And that's what it'll teach you. That's the fundamental of it all. So the key here is to create a strong enough internal feeling that it drops into your unconscious. And one way to do that is create a plan. Right? Another one is to create the kind of commitment that it doesn't matter. Whatever it takes, you'll find a way. But see, that has to be a consistent emotion.
What does it really mean to be unshakable? It's not just a matter of money. It's a state of mind. When you're truly unshakable, you have an unwavering confidence amidst the storm. Today I want to talk to you about invisible forces. Radiation is an invisible force. Gravity is an invisible force. Electromagnetic energy is a visible force. So is love and so is hate. Those two invisible forces of human emotion can impact your life more than almost anything else on this earth. You know, people love to talk about their intellect, but guess what? It's human emotion that actually moves us to action. Emotions start wars. They also create peace. Emotions will get you to fall in love. It's what gets you married. It's also can get you divorced if you don't manage it well. Used effectively, we can use our emotions to experience the most enhanced life you could ever dream of. But if we fail to direct our emotion, fear, worry, anger, stress, depression, or overwhelm can creep in. Listen, we've all been given a gift, and that gift is the capacity to choose and direct and shape our own emotions, therefore change the quality of our lives in an instant and help others to do the same. So if we're going to have an extraordinary holiday season, and more importantly, an extraordinary life, we have to become the masters of this invisible force called human emotion. We feel different feelings at different times, and we can be triggered by a variety of things in our environment. But ultimately, the way you feel is based upon the meaning you give to things. See, meaning equals emotion, and emotion equals your life. So for example, if something really challenging happens in your life, some people make up a meaning, this is happening because God is punishing me for something I've done wrong. See, the meaning we give things produces emotion. If you think God's punishing you, you're going to have a different feeling and response instead of actions than you think God is challenging or gifting you with this challenge. What's wrong is always available, as I always say, but so is what's right. Rarely does a positive emotion just interrupt you. Usually, you have to pursue them. Weeds grow automatically. You don't have to plant them. In the middle of a challenge, one of my favorite questions to ask is, what's great about this? Maybe there's an opportunity in this situation. If you and I are going to become emotionally fit, then we really have to train ourselves. Emotional fitness is that state of readiness. It's different than emotional intelligence. Most people have a highway to stress and fear and worry and upset, and they got a dirt road to happiness or joy. You can change that because emotion is a habit. This holiday season, and more importantly in your life, what do we got to do to consistently have the emotions we want is become conscious and train that habit. You need to figure out what your emotional home is. So take a look at your emotional inventory and maybe circle the top 2 positive emotions you experience most and the top 2 negative that you experience most. And then write down what tends to trigger you. And how could you train yourself in that same situation to feel differently? Just by having the awareness alone, you can change things. And if you do this for, say, 10 days, I think you'll find you'll have a new set of habits, and the quality of your life, not only during the holidays, but every day, will increase massively. So if you really want to give yourself a gift and the people around you this holiday season, maybe make a decision. It's a simple decision that says, from this day on, at least for the next few weeks, I'm going to train myself to tap into the gift of positive human emotions. I'm going to live in a beautiful emotional state by finding a more empowering meaning. Just ask yourself, what else could this mean? And find an empowering meaning, and in that moment, you become the master of your life.
We're in a season right now we would call winter. Winter is the greatest opportunity in your life for growth because most people will let fear take over them. It's about re-engineering yourself for the season we're in so you can have the time of your life, succeed, enjoy, have great relationships, not live in fear and uncertainty. If you find your passion, you're going to have this tremendous energy. It's sustainable energy. And the reason you get yourself in a passionate place is so that you change your life, and the only thing that changes your life is making a decision. So while you're in this passionate state, that's where you make decisions. You don't make decisions when you're like, oh, I don't know, what do you think? All right, let's decide. If you make a decision in a state without momentum, if you make a decision from a place where there's no passion, you are not going to get momentum. It'll kill momentum.